On his very first day at work, the new caregiver poured boiling water on his boss's legs. Why? To test if the paralyzed man could really feel nothing. During mealtime, he kept getting distracted by the pretty secretary and ended up spoon-feeding rice right into his boss's eye. In caregiver training, he was either snoring or zoning out, and when lifting the boss into a wheelchair, he almost dropped him. Later that night, the boss tried to answer a phone call. Without thinking, the caregiver handed him the phone, completely forgetting the man was paralyzed from head to toe. He was careless, blunt, and had no filter. Thought the boss's beard looked ugly and gave him one wild makeover after another. Like this, and this, and this. You'd think the boss would have fired him on the spot, but instead, he offered him an incredibly high salary, because somehow, these two so different in background, in personality, in everything, ended up becoming the best of friends for life. The boss's name was Philippe. He used to be a billionaire, but a paragliding accident left him completely paralyzed. His wife passed away soon after. Philippe decided to hire a caregiver. The pay was generous, and the candidates lined up in suits and ties. Some came from elite universities, some had walls full of awards. Everyone was desperate to prove themselves, except for one. He walked in wearing street clothes, and he wasn't here to get the job, he was here to get rejected. Because once a person is turned down by 3 employers, they're eligible for government unemployment benefits. So Driss, the man in question, had no intention of being polite. He insulted Philippe's taste, mocked his lack of humor. He treated Philippe like he was nobody, and oddly enough, Philippe found it hilarious, while the others were too stiff and careful. Driss was blunt, direct, and real, so Philippe played a little trick. He told Driss to come back the next day for a signature on the rejection form. What Philippe didn't know was that Driss had just been released from prison. He had no job, no future, and had been kicked out of his mother's home. He had nowhere to go. So the next morning, he showed up at the mansion. All he wanted was that signature. But instead, the housekeeper gave him a full tour. Room after room, massive, luxurious. Servants were everywhere. But what truly caught Driss's eye was the sparkling white bathroom. Because back home, he didn't even have a working bathtub. When he met Philippe again, he expected to be kicked out. Instead, Philippe offered him the job, gave him a 1-month trial. It felt like winning the lottery. Driss said yes on the spot. What he didn't realize was that it was his indifference, his refusal to pity Philippe, that actually made the man feel respected for the first time in years. Still, Driss had no experience. He kept messing up. He'd fall asleep during training sessions. He once used foot cream as shampoo and couldn't figure out why there were no suds. He kept forgetting Philippe couldn't move. But as time passed, Philippe started seeing something different in Driss. Everyone else tiptoed around him, afraid to offend or make a mistake. But with Driss, he could laugh. He could relax. He finally felt like a normal person again. Not since the accident had Philippe felt that free. One day, Philippe wanted to go to an art exhibit. The caregiver van pulled up, but Driss refused. He said, "I'm not shoving you into that thing like your cargo." He pulled off a tarp, revealing a Maserati in the garage. What a waste to just leave it sitting there. He was determined to bring speed and thrill back into Philippe's life, but not everyone was on board. Friends warned Philippe to fire Driss. After all, he had a criminal record, carried knives, and came from the roughest neighborhoods. They said people like that had no compassion, but Philippe disagreed. He wanted someone without sympathy, someone